Michael Knowles calls for the repeal of the 22nd Amendment. No way.
Just put the vote in the bag, little bro. I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's fine. You grant everything you're saying, but just put the vote in the bag. That's my whole thing with Prime.
You didn't appeal.
Okay, nice. Good 8-second clip.
Sorry. I just want to make sure that you acknowledge what you just did there was a different question, right?
Uh-oh.
What? That's the kind of like, she was in a rough spot and you didn't help her. You didn't give her a shot.
Norms, though.
Wait, how long did they argue about this? 2:52. Damn. About an hour or 2 hours? It wasn't just about the Prime Kai talk, right?
Huh?
There was not actually a rule preventing her from breaking with the party more, with Biden more on certain policies, and articulating a different vision forward.
Nobody says there's not a rule against it. It would just be nuking her everything. She's the vice president of the current administration. How is she going to come out and take a significantly different position than the current administration while also serving as vice president in the current administration? Then people are just going to say, oh, if you're opposed to everything going on in the administration, why are you standing by and watching it happen as your vice? Like, there's just no world where that works.
It's a different thing. You're doing the same thing. Sorry. That is a different question. Whether she should have done something differently, whether she had a different obligation, is different than what did you being Prime, have as an obligation, given what you had.
Your argument was she's in a rough spot, and then you just appealed to like norms. You didn't appeal to rules.
Sorry. I just want to make
There's
sure.
There's nothing wrong with appealing to norms to some extent. I mean, it depends on what norms you're appealing to, I guess, but.
Acknowledge what you just did there was a different question, right? What she could have done is different than taking the candidate as given and what you should do in response to what she's signaling. Do you agree those are different things?
Yep.
Okay, so when you say
my point is that it's not compelling to phrase it that way at all. It sounds like she can't really, like, even though she's the candidate, like, she can't do anything.
Well, she was in a rough spot, and Prime didn't help her out.
Yeah, see the strategy. How's that strategy going for Democrats? Let's bully every individual
I'm not saying that this is the best strategy. No, I'm not saying it's the best strategy. I'm just saying that I think it's true.
I hate the smugness. Like, people, they do this. The lefties do this one. How is that going for Democrats? How is it going for you guys, by the way? You guys have gotten your ass fucking whipped in basically every single fucking election recently. Like, Mamdani has this whole fucking movement on life support. And it's because they ran fucking Cuomo as the only guy up in New York City, apparently, that can be fucking mayor besides Mamdani. Like, you guys lose everywhere. Like, you guys are the king fucking losers. Like, anytime you ask, well, how's it going for the Democrats? I don't know, like 300 seats better than it's going for the fucking progressives? I mean, what do you mean? How's it going for that? How's it going for you guys? Like, what? The only elections you even have a shot at winning are in the deep blue Democrat districts where you guys don't even run on your own parties. Like, what? Jesus.
It's just the one that you deployed in this particular conversation.
No, in this conversation
with Prime. Didn't want to vote for her.
No, there was nothing. Wait, stop. So Prime was never going to be convinced. He's not going to be convinced. I'm not going to convince Prime.
You're never going to convince the person that you're talking to. It's always for the audience. You know that. You acknowledge that?
Yes.
You acknowledge that? Okay, thank you.
So I am emphasizing the fact that she had a difficult job and she had to do certain things to be aligned with the administration, otherwise risk being seen as like some kind of rebel of the administration and undermining her whole credibility.
God forbid she separate herself from this really, really unpopular administration.
God forbid she separate her. Like, this is not. Fuck. Erin is a gaslighter. The way that she debates is like, these are not real arguments. We already watched this in the last one where she'll just say things like, oh, funneling just means looping somebody in, right? Pisco's not. This isn't real. I don't know why I'm analyzing this. This isn't a real conversation. The vice president of the United States can't come out while running for president and totally and completely and utterly disavow every single thing in the current administration, but not do anything about it. And like, this is just not. That's a non-starter. This is just fucking retarded, right?
Some kind of rebel of the administration and undermining her whole credibility.
God forbid she separate herself from this really, really unpopular administration.
And then notice how she's doing this thing. Like, God forbid she separate herself. What, the only way you can separate yourself is on the genocide? That's the only policy? That's the only thing you can do differently? That's the only possible way that you can separate yourself?
Are you acknowledging it was a tough spot? Or not?
Yes, but I actually have citations for the claim that you made, which is that she signaled.
Sorry. On the mere notion that she was in a difficult position, you agree with that notion. So why are you fighting me on it?
I shouldn't have said but. I said yes and. I should have said yes and. But
yes,
yeah, I agree.
So she was in a very difficult spot, and people should have given her the benefit of the doubt. That she would
no, see, here's the thing. What she did from there, I can absolutely hold her accountable for. She's the fucking vice president of the United States, and she's the Democratic candidate.
It's a separate issue. It's an issue about what she should have done is separate from what
I
the
know.
voter should have done.
It was part of the same issue.
No, but it's just not responsive to what I'm saying. So you agree with me completely?
No, it is responsive because I'm saying, yes, she's in a difficult spot, but separate point, introducing separate point, pay attention to the separate point that I'm fucking making, which is I'm saying it's totally valid to criticize her for her electoral strategy,
yes, but I'm not
even considering all of the other things that were stacked against her.
Yes, but when I'm talking to Prime about what he should have done, I can't, like, yeah, Kamala should have made different choices. Prime should have made different choice. And what I'm saying when I'm talking to Prime, wow, thank you so much for the raters from the Majority Report. Welcome, the Majority Report. We really appreciate the Majority Report. Big fans of the show. And right now we're doing a little bit of a decompress after my debates with Tim Pool. And yeah, we're just talking about that in a different conversation I had with someone about the election in 2024. So thank you so much for the raid. Shout out Majority Report. Very much appreciate y'all and what you're doing. So yeah, listen, I can understand and even appreciate that Kamala should have made different choices. I agree with that. And I even agree fundamentally that Biden should have made huge different choices vis-a-vis Israel and Gaza, especially after, Netanyahu was showing his hand that he wasn't taking these ceasefires seriously, 100%.
Yeah, maybe not do the genocide.
Yeah, but I just view that as a separate question from what your responsibility is as an individual in like the voting situation. That's all I'm saying.
But you know that I voted for Kamala Harris. I voted against Trump. And you know that I agree with you that, she's on the easiest position because if she breaks from the party too much, it's like what you said. But if she doesn't do it enough, which she didn't do it enough, you're not going to be able to inspire and reach voters that are dissatisfied with the current status quo. And unfortunately, voters look up, they see what party's in charge, and they blame them. They're not going to factor in other. Okay, so we agree on both of those points. I just feel like there is, especially in this conversation of Prime, I think that is the show of good faith on your part should be explaining what your issues with the campaign were instead of making excuses.
Well, I think
it comes off.
Listen, I'm happy to say that there were mistakes made. And
what were some? Name
okay, I'll name some mistakes. I do think that
Genocide. Like, bro, it's kind of hard to run as the non-status quo person when you're literally the vice president of the United States. Like, what is she supposed to say?
Even though I enjoy the unity because I'm very anti-Gen 6 pilled, and so I appreciate that we're acknowledging the bravery of some Republicans to stand up against that. I think cozying up to Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney was probably, I don't think it mattered that much in retrospect.
Dude, why do these guys always take the bait on this? Cozying up to? Did Kamala and Cheney ever even appear on stage together? I don't remember of this. Like, are you just supposed to, like, anytime somebody says something, it might have been one time. Like, what are you, like, why would you, well, I know the answer why, I'm sorry. The answer is because you're supposed to be appealing to the commies and not to anybody else to your right, because the Democrats are already a far-right party, according to these people. Oh, it was this. Okay, whatever. And it was this town hall thing, I think.
You to be as involved as you in many.
Like, what do we think Kamala Harris sold out in accepting the endorsement from her, so far as you call an endorsement? Like, what did she say or do that we now disagree with? Like, did she say, oh, well, since Cheney endorsed me, we're going to get rid of the, minimum wage? It's so stupid.
To be honest with you, I don't know if that was the right move to make. I don't think that tying yourself so heavily to the Biden administration, even though you're the vice president, and that's what I mean, it's a difficult spot, notwithstanding the fact that it puts you in a difficult spot, you should have done more to remove yourself from that. And then ultimately, I do think that the position on certain domestic policies should have been much more clear and tangible in a way that, like, Mamdani's approaches.
Oh, did he not bring up the genocide?
Are quotable, right? You can, even if I don't agree with all the policies of Mamdani, they're easy to remember, and what he stands for is easy to remember. Some of that I think has to do with candidate quality with Kamala, although I think that she did an honorable job in how she ran her campaign and that she stood up after Biden screwed her over, frankly, not just, by the way, in the decision to run again, but kind of sidelining her throughout the entirety of the presidency. So yeah, I think those are genuine mistakes that she made. I like the Tim Walz pick. All I'm trying to say is it's a separate issue. What she should have done and what Prime should have done as a voter. And as a voter, for him to answer, like, I wouldn't vote for Kamala even if it would save the lives of 20.
That was crazy.
That's crazy.
These are stupid answers.
That's
Okay, I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
But if you only just want to keep it to that one thing about here's what you ought to do. Here's what you ought to do. I just don't think, like, if that's the way that the conversation ends up going, it's not productive. It's funny, but I'm not gonna pretend like it's productive, it's not persuasive, it's not interesting. You not having, again, fucking tunnel vision that I've told you about, where you're getting triggered over bringing anything else into the conversation. It's like, no, we're just talking about your responsibility, right? But his responsibility is not a constant. It's an outcome, right? You say you think that there's no way his mind could have been changed. Maybe for this past election, it doesn't seem like it, but for the next election, maybe it could be changed. And I don't think that you seized upon the opportunity.
It's never, no. Because remember, when it comes to the commies, they will never, ever, ever come to you. You have to build the bridge and then fully cross the bridge to get over them. They will never meet you in the middle on anything. You always have to go to them. And they're going to, like, literally blast you for it the entire fucking time you're on your way over to them.
To try to point that out.
I mean, I asked them. I basically said, would you vote for Newsom and JD, like, over JD Vance? And I think that he was still giving, like, the same kind of cagey answer, that unless he was willing to do the kind of policy prescriptions that he wanted to do, and frankly that I think should happen. I'm in favor of stopping aid to Israel. I am. People might think that, like, I'm taking this ultimately elastic stance on Israel, and I'm kind of just shying away from the question. I'm not. I don't support aid to Israel, and I agree with a lot of the critiques, the left-wing critiques of the AOC fungibility. Yeah, so the fungibility argument makes sense, and I was even saying as much. I just don't think that you should have, like, just throw AOC out with the bathwater. I think she is making an understandable vote just in terms of optics, and people should give her the grace to fucking have that vote. All I'm saying is that even if Gavin Newsom took what I took to be, like, a bad position on funding to Israel, or if Governor Shapiro were the nominee or some other nominee who's potentially more or less hawkish or more accommodating to Israel, we should still vote for them. Like, that's what I mean. And I don't think that Prime is in the mood of being convinced on those kind of harm reduction arguments. And these are arguments, and this is another point that I brought up in the recap here, which is it doesn't make sense to be so pure-minded, and I want to know what your opinion is on this, with respect to voting, but to be ultimately like a deal maker when it comes to the substantive negotiations on the ground, right? Like everyone would acknowledge that in order to get to a peaceful resolution of the Israel-Palestine dispute, what's going on in Gaza, it will require some kind of mutual consideration and some kind of deal. And that's going to necessitate not a pure stance where we're only giving the Gazans everything they want, the Palestinians everything they want. And people seem quite willing, and even the Palestinians themselves and Hamas are willing to come to deals and agreements that are, you know, benefiting both parties to have some resolution. So to me, it doesn't really make sense that you would take one stance on voting, that there's this exceptional thing with like the vote must be pure, but your sausage making of the deal, there you can have a kind of more give and take relationship that you couldn't have with respect to voting for a leader. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. It's never going to be, it's politics. There's political realities to contend with. And, you know, a good compromise is going to be one where everybody is upset. And that's certainly going to be the case when it comes to the, you know, the resolution, which is all going to be on Israel's terms. Let's not kid ourselves otherwise.
Yeah.
Whether Kamala had won or Trump had won, that's always going to be the case.
What's
like,
kind of,
Palestinians
I didn't put it in the topics that we're going to discuss today, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on the strike in Doha, because it just really does seem that the Israelis, in coordination with the Americans, are setting up these negotiations to be completely impossible, and to put up deals and use the deals and offer.
No way. Is Israel sabotaging? No way.
No, I'm not saying this like it's a big confusion for you, but like at this point, it seems like even the capacity for making a potential deal that is a target for the Israeli government, both in terms of how they approach Iran and what they're doing with the strikes in Doha. So what's your reaction to that?
It's no surprise they're not interested in that. It's been like 2 years. You know, they claim around about the hostages. If they give a fuck about those hostages, they could have come home a long time ago. It's not about any of that. You know, this is a fucking lunatic state, man.
Greater Israel Project. Say it.
I heard that
and also they have no incentive because, you know, we're one of their coffers, and what conditions do we attach to anything that they do ever?
Israel, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. No, I mean,
they have no incentive to be reined in because they know they can do whatever they act with impunity.
And it's kind of undermining. Like Qatar has kind of tried to act here. And listen, I think that we're no friends of these oil Gulf states. At least I'm not. But they were trying to act as a mediator here. It's undermining the potential for them to act as a mediator as well. So yeah, I don't see. This is one of the reasons why I get so frustrated with Prime's position. Is this is the kind of shit that Trump is encouraging and allowing for. Like, I think that he was well aware that when he made these entreaties to Hamas, because he was saying this is the last deal, take it or leave it, and he sent some kind of ambiguous set of requests to Hamas vis-a-vis their. I think even on Truth Social, he was saying some shit like that. But that kind of shit, I don't think would happen with the Democratic president. That we'd have this level of involvement in culpability.
Has Hamas like put forth a real ceasefire agreement? Like, I feel like all of Hamas's agreements are like, we'll agree to a ceasefire as long as we can remain the government, and you have to release like 2,000 people from your prison. Like, that's like, this is a non-starter too, no? Destiny, super important. Would you rather have a Gundam suit or an Iron Man suit? I feel like the the Gundam suit would be more like possible to work with. I don't know if they ever addressed this in the universe. But one thing I've always wondered is like, how the fuck does Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark, how does he survive the tremendous G-forces that this suit generates? Like, how is he not dead there? Like, all he did was free fall to the ground. Gravity dampeners? I mean, you can only dampen so much inside of this little suit, whereas like in a giant ass mecha, you could dampen a lot more, you know?
Ability in specifically undermining the negotiation. I do believe in the sincerity of the Democrats when they were trying to get to
shock absorption. It's not about shock. It's about the change in speed, the negative acceleration. What do you mean? There's no amount of shock. Your body is moving this fast and then it stops moving. All of your organs would fucking turn into slosh inside your body.
To a ceasefire. You might not believe that they were doing the most effective thing, and I would agree with that, but I don't think that they were actively scuttling the talks like Trump is now.
I mean, let's say you were having this exact same conversation.
Oh, she won't even grant that. They'll never grant anything that the Dems would have been better.
With like, if you could just be part of a focus group, okay? No, you're not part of the focus group.
Okay.
You happen to pass by somebody who's just left a focus group, and they're a registered Democrat who did not vote in the last election, and they give identical arguments that Prime just gave you. Would you really employ all the same arguments and same strategies to convince them to vote?
No, I wouldn't use the same strategies to convince a lib as I would a lefty. Is that your question?
You don't know that you don't even know if they're a lib. You just the information I provided to you is the only thing that you
Repeat
know.
that
They're registered
information again,
Democrats.
Yeah.
You happen to be walking by a convention center and outwalks these people that have just participated in a Democratic focus group. And these people are registered Democrats and independents, I'll add independents in there, who voted in the previous election for Joe Biden but did not vote this time in 2024. And they make the same arguments to you that Prime made. Would you use the same lines of argumentation that you made against Prime to convince them to vote. That they ought to have voted for Kamala Harris in
Because of harm
2024,
reduction.
and then they should vote again against whoever Republican candidate there is.
I think I would
in
stress
4
the
years.
harm being done to Gazans under the current administration and what I view would be the difference. But if you're someone like Prime who doesn't take into consideration the amount of harm and the disparity between those two, that's literally what he's saying, is that you can put infinite amount of harm on one side of the ledger and it won't change how I act. Those people can't be convinced, Aaron. And that's what, like, we've had a lot of public spats and disagreements with the live and learn, hutch type mentality. We've taken some differences of opinion in terms of like the coalition building, like eject all the left and these people are cancer, whatever.
Oh yeah, Mr. We don't. If we lose or if we win in November, it'll prove we don't need these fucking people. And now the same people that were saying they're fucking irrelevant, they're on Twitter, they don't do anything, don't fucking vote, man. All they do is whine about genocide. Now they're turning around scolding all of these people as though if they had voted, it would have had some difference on the outcome. And it's like, oh, so you did need them. Which is it? Because it can only be one. Either they're terminally online dipshits that don't matter and they're just screaming into the void, or they were consequential and you needed their votes. And now what you have for them is like scolding. Okay.
I'm not saying that they're.
I mean, you need the votes, but you need them to vote for you. You can't adopt their positions because you'll lose so many more votes on the way. Like, that's the issue. Both of those things can technically be true at the same time, right? You need their votes to win, but that just because you need their votes to win doesn't mean that you can secure their votes. Because in securing their votes, you might lose way more.
Is not an inconsistency on the terms of like relative power. I think that sometimes they play fast and loose with like how much power they have. On the one hand, they're the reason Kamala lost, like you said. On the other hand, they have no power. They're just terminally in line. So
we should ignore them and cut them out.
Right. So I'm not disagreeing with you there. What I'm just saying is like there is a subset of people who can't be convinced. There is a subset of people where they're criticizing Mamdani as in principle being a stooge of the Democrats, at the same time as they're criticizing the Democrats for not like rallying around him, which I do, by the way. I criticize the Democrats for not rallying around Mamdani in the context of the New York City mayoral election, especially people like Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. But there are people like Prime, I think, who I'm never going to convince him because he doesn't care about consequences. And how do you convince someone by appealing to consequences for someone who doesn't care about those consequences? It's kind of like if I really am in the wild meeting with someone who thinks like Prime do, I might as well just start singing because nothing I say about the harm that their vote might cause is going to affect their calculus. I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, there's just things that are brought up disingenuously, and it just drives me crazy. Like the USAID cuts. Okay, one, we knew that Doge was going to happen or whatever, but we didn't know about the USAID cuts. Now I hear that number, the 14 million that are projected to be killed.
What the fuck?
Let
Wait, what are
me
you talking
make
about?
my argument before you make faces. Let me make the argument, please. Thank you.
Okay.
So by 2030, there's a study that projects that because of the USAID cuts, which were completely unconstitutional, which I didn't agree with, obviously, 14 million more people are going to die because they're not going to get access to aid that they would have otherwise if the USAID budget had been preserved. Okay, that number is brought up all the time to be like, that's 14 million people.
Wait, we should just call this, it's USAID. I don't know why I got hoodwinked into calling it USAID. It's just USAID. I don't know why we do this.
People that could have been saved if you voted against Trump, voted for a Democrat and prevented USAID and Doge from like these cuts from happening and from Doge happening, right? Let's pretend all else being equal. MAGA, the Republican Party is the exact same, Democrats are the exact same, except they also support the USAID cuts. Would you then say that, and MAGA doesn't support the USAID cuts, okay? Would you then say, oh, we ought to vote for MAGA then?
So you're saying, would you
There's 14 million people.
So if Democrats supported the USAID cuts, Republicans didn't, would
and
you
they
vote
didn't.
No, but I don't think that, I would still vote for the Democrat in that context. But
I know, and everybody who brings up these stats also would. I also would. So why are we bringing it up? Like it's this thing.
Oh, that's such a good fallacy to use. I'm trying to think of how you formulate this. There is, this is a totally disingenuous argument, but it's hard to explain why. There's like a composition. I'm trying to think of how you would formulate this. There is a thing, and then there are properties of the thing, but you like a particular thing oftentimes because of the properties, and some of these properties run like concurrently with each other. And if you ask a question where it's like, would you still like this thing, or would you still support this argument if you removed this thing? It like, in a way, it's kind of a hypothetical question, but the reality is the removal of that individual thing is actually so essential to the thing itself that it kind of renders the question meaningless in a way. Like if you, I'm trying to think of an example that wouldn't be like tautological. Like I was gonna say, like, would you agree with a murderer if he was justified in every killing? It's like, well, murder implies unjustified. Like, would you still drink water if everything else was the exact same about water, but it like didn't quench your thirst or something, and it didn't actually provide any like nutrition? It's something like this, but it's like you. There's a thing where like you remove. It's not a ship of Theseus. Stop. It's like you remove a key aspect or a key essence of the thing itself, and then you pose it as a hypothetical. And you can do this. There are a few times where in the past I won't address a hypothetical, and I'll say this because this will come up, where people will pose a certain question. It's like, well, I can answer this hypothetical, but you have to understand that you're removing something that's like so essential from the hypothetical that the answer I'm giving you has almost no bearing on the thing itself. When you ask, would you still have voted for the Democrats if they would have pulled the USAID funding and the Republicans wouldn't have? These are like some pretty essential parts of the identities of both parties, such that it's very hard to imagine that reality. Like, what would have to change for the current MAGA to embrace something like USAID? And what would have to change for the current Democratic Party to want to get rid of USAID? Like, that's a significant compositional change to the essence of both of these things. I don't know how to... Yeah, I don't think it's a good question. I think that's a very tricky question. Pisco tries to answer it honestly, but it's just such a significant change, you know? Yeah.
For the Democrat in that context. But
I know, and everybody who brings up these stats also would. I also would. So why are we bringing it up? Like, it's this thing that really matters.
No,
it's being cynically invoked, and it's so
it's not cynical.
transparent.
Hang on,
It's cynical.
Dumb question, but do you think these people would do better if they actually got outside and tried convincing normal everyday people instead of just turning on people? No, they would do worse. Remember, their goal is not political power. Their goal is social signaling and fun and games online. Their goal isn't to win elections. So if they went out and argued with people in the real world, it'd probably be more exhausting. It'd be more work. It would be less fun, not as much fun like social signaling. So they would do worse off for it. They might do politically better for it because they would learn better political strategies and everything else like that. But their goal is not to have political power. Their goal is to virtue signal and social signal online.
Invoked.
Wait, it's not cynical. It's not cynical to like appeal to someone else's values, right? Like if what I take the position that like we need to save ourselves first, and so sort of like the structure of our country and preventing us from falling into an authoritarian state. That if the Democrat, like I'll fight against the specific USAID cuts, and I'll be in court or helping or assisting or signal boosting the people in court fighting against the USAID cuts, whatever. But if our goal is to protect our system first and our country first before we help others, and I think that is maybe my most proximate goal is to defend the Constitution and defend freedom in this country, then it's not cynical for me to trying to appeal to your values, right, which is harm reduction of overall death, to notice this difference between one party and another. I don't know how that's hypocritical.
See, Pisco's kind of bought into this fallacious game of harm reduction. The commies are not interested in harm reduction, though. Or if they are, the harm is so much more widespread than they initially let on. Like, if anything, the idea of 20,000 less Gazans, that might be less harm reduction because ultimately it helps to entrench the status quo of Israel being an acceptable nation for even longer. So they would say maybe it's better to accelerate that death timeline so that even more people realize how evil and horrible Israel is. Like, people who are outside of the liberal window, so they're not like a traditional Democrat or Republican, they're like illiberal, they're outside, they're more to the left, they're a commie, they're a fascist. These people, you can't appeal to them in the same world. They're looking at like distinctly different things.
You could say, yeah, for me, it wouldn't be the deciding
process.
factor.
The issue is that those cuts occurred unconstitutionally because no one elected Elon Musk. He's appointed by Trump in this role that's supposed to be really just reserved to a very, very limited capacity temporarily. And he starts doing trying to cut things that were congressionally allocated already that he doesn't have the authority to be cutting. So if that's your issue, then why are you pointing to the outcome and saying, and especially weird to say,
it's both,
we need to
right?
care
It's
about
both.
ourselves first, but you're talking about 14 million people globally are going to die.
There's no inconsistency here,
not in the
Aaron.
United States.
Aaron, there's no inconsistency. On the one hand, you're appealing to things that you care about and saying, well, how would I determine the vote? And on the other hand, you're saying, listen, if what you care about are lives, you should also agree with me because in addition to the things that I care about, what you most care about, and I'm saying I don't care about like the loss of life overseas. I'm just saying in terms of what you value more or less, and you're giving a hypothetical of a version of Trump that really does care about not cutting aid to foreign countries, and I'm happy to accept that hypothetical. I would
like
still
the Republican Party.
Not like the current Republican Party. Like in that situation, in this hypothetical, yeah, you could have a different preference matrix, which you would still vote for the Democrat. In other words, it's overdetermined that you're going to vote for the Democrat. But in appealing to someone else who doesn't care as much about the institutions, doesn't care much about the rule of law and the structure of the country, and cares just about the raw outcomes for individuals in terms of their, them living or dying, then it's not inconsistent to say, hey, if what you care about is harm reduction for people abroad, look at this harm. I don't think that's disingenuous at all. What's disingenuous about that?
But it's not just the raw outcomes. There have been conflicts that have killed far more than the Gaza genocide. The reason why it's significant is because the intentionality going in
so she's a bit more honest. There you go. Okay, so we're getting to this. It's not really about the outcomes at all, right? There's something else that's cooking under the hood here that has less to do with the amount of people dying or people dying, period, and more to do with like ideologies at play.
There have been conflicts that have killed far more than the Gaza genocide. The reason why it's significant is because the intentionality going in this genocide. It's not because of just the number of people dying alone.
No, I don't think it's just because of that, for sure. And I think that you would agree that this is something else I said in my discussion in the video that I had, like the recap, where there is this kind of, I think, genocide exceptionalism, which I'm not trying to sound crass. I think that you would acknowledge that we care about things, and I agree most pro-Palestinian people would care about things other than just genocide. You care about crimes against humanities and war crimes and genocide.
No, nobody cares about any of this. Just
and poverty and starvation, whether intentional or not. And I agree that there's a special harm being done by the intentionality, the special intent of genocide. But like given the choice between two options, right? Like if there's a genocide of a 40,000 population person versus like, if you assume that the metrics or the estimations are correct, it's like 12 million people are dying. It's not so intuitive to me, like which is the worst outcome there. And it's not so intuitive to me that we should like discount, not saying that we should consider them exactly the same or that they're not apples and oranges. In some respect, they're apples and oranges, but it's not like that we should, are we really going to say that we know that our intuition is strong, that the genocide of the 40,000 is worse than the starvation and disease of 12, 13 million? That's not intuitive to me.
Happening right now on social media, and I think people do get it. People are more viscerally disgusted by this woman, this Ukrainian refugee, a young woman, who was brutally murdered on a train or something like that in North Carolina.
Oh, I get you, yeah. No,
she's like stabbed in the neck, right? And people that are bringing up like statistics, those statistics might be accurate, but it's like going to fall on deaf ears to the person that's concerned about this one thing. It's like bringing up like, oh, did you know, like, if you really care about death, you would not be focusing on this woman killed in the subway. You'd be focusing on like the fact that 30,000 Americans die of strokes needlessly. Think about that. But what point do you think I'm trying to illustrate? What point do you think I'm trying to illustrate? You're saying it's not intuitive. Like, really what the difference is when you have the intentionality behind the number of people that are dying. So 40,000, it's less people, but it was intentional, versus several hundreds of thousands more dying on accident millions more, right? Yeah. You know, but it wasn't like intentionally done.
Well, I'm recognizing that there's, and I'm giving you credit because I agree with you, that there's a special harm and rights deprivation that matters differently for, like, 100 people die of heart problems and one person gets brutally stabbed like that. I think people are rational to consider the rights deprivation and the intentional malicious act as part of that calculus. And so, yeah, you're going to be more animated by the obscene, horrible killing than like the statistic of 100 people dying from heart failure that weekend or something like that. And they're not 100% comparable. But at a certain level of scale, you start to, you have to consider it as part of your analysis. Like, if I could prevent one such killing on the bus versus 1 million people dying of cancer every year, yes, you weigh in the rights deprivation, you weigh in the malicious, intentional aspect of it. But ultimately, everything I think is fungible in that way, where you have to make some kind of rational trade-off where it can't just be like, okay, one person gets murdered, I would trade away the entire planet in an unintentional fashion for this one intentional malicious rights deprivation. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you said 14 million people could be killed because of USA because you're still voting for Dems. In my hypothetical, where I said Republicans and Democrats, everything's the exact same. The only difference is that
it's just so hard to argue. This hypothetical just cuts against what both parties stand for so much. It's a dumb hypothetical, and it's to fight on this ground is so difficult. Like imagine you have like Mr. Rogers. Like, who would you prefer to leave around your children? Like Jeffrey Epstein or did I say Michael Rogers? Mr. Rogers. I don't know if I said Michael Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Would you rather leave Mr. Rogers around your kids, or would you rather leave Jeffrey Epstein around your kids? But let's assume that Mr. Rogers rapes kids and Jeffrey Epstein like is just a babysitter. But all else equal, like, who would you prefer there? And it's just like such a, like, it cuts against the core of like your understanding of like both these people so much. It's just like, I don't know. I guess Epstein probably would rather. Oh, so if he's abducting kids and taking them to the island. Oh, you said he wasn't raping them. Oh no, he's not raping them, but he still abducts them, takes them to the island, makes them work and stuff. Okay, Jesus, but Mr. Rogers is raping them. Well, yeah, but he's like gentle and he still does like all the kid stuff, and they go home to their parents. And it's like Jesus, fuck, I don't fucking know. Like, how? Oh, so you don't know? So then it's not about the numbers, because Epstein would take way more kids than Mr. And it's like, it's just, this is like a nonsense. This is a nonsense. This is a nonsense hypothetical. I think it's just to say that Democrats would cut USAID or USAID and that Republicans would like save the Gazans. And now who would you vote for? It just cuts against the core of what both parties stand for, in my opinion, so much in terms of their position. I don't know how you even approach this hypothetical. It's so wacky.
Democrats support the cuts of USAID and Republicans don't.
There's a certain level of scale at which, I can't with precise, specificity tell you where it is. And part of my analysis here is I think that an authoritarian state is much more likely to do other kinds of abuses, and just based on the promises of one party versus another, and my intuitions on which party excess we're able to rein in and which not. So a lot of it goes into the analysis, like in the background here, about like my intuition of the harm. But at some level of scale, I think you would agree that we would want to, forego the rights that we care about at some degree of scale. I don't know if the USAID.
Well, Prime clearly doesn't feel like the party is movable on this, because he obviously feels, and it's not irrational, a lot of the Democratic base feels this way. Every single fucking day, the Democratic Party feels this way, that they will go down with the fucking ship that is Israel before they change their goddamn position on it and get in line with where the majority of the fucking base is. We all talk about how...
Go make your own fucking party. Go make your own party. If you guys think you know so much more, if you're so much more in tune with the base of voters, then go make your own party. Just do it. And you guys would be so successful, right?
Like, oh, these Gaza purity testers, they just care about the genocide. They don't care about anything else. They're immovable. It's so unreasonable.
That's true, Prime. But
nobody's talking about how the Democratic Party will not move on Israel. So they're the ones, to me. It's people who support Gaza aren't in fucking power right now. Maybe they're in the base, but they don't care. They don't have any power really institutionally. We can name on like two hands. These two hands more than suffice.
Because nobody's voting for them, because people don't give a fuck about this issue anywhere near as much as you guys online do.
To name the Democrats that have been the most outspoken with respect to Israel-Palestine.
I just view them as different issues, right?
And so yes, that is like Prime is weighing, and like the people that are sitting out the vote, they look at this party and they say, I don't really believe you that the Democrats could be moved on this, because even after this election,
the base is being moved.
Yeah, the base is being moved, but it's not being reflected in the party. They feel like, okay, well, it just doesn't seem to be any amount.
What are they going to do right now about it? It's not like they can end the war. We don't have the presidency. We don't have the fucking Supreme Court to make rulings. We don't have the fucking any half of Congress. Like, what do you want them to do?
Democratic constituents.
Why haven't Democrats stopped the fucking war in Israel yet? Like,
that can feel this way on this issue, you'll ever see the change reflected in the institutions. You'll ever see it reflected in the politicians. They will not change on this issue.
Why? Why do you think they wouldn't? Really?
So if it's a matter of like, oh, but you can push Kamala more than you can push Trump more with respect to Israel-Palestine, these people don't feel that way. I happen to agree with you that I do think that that's true, but I'm not surprised that they feel that way, given how resistant Democrats are that are currently in office to changing on Israel.
I kind of view them, again, we're going to loop on this. They're separate issues about like whether or not Democrats
You can't
are
see
movable.
I'm rolling my eyes right now.
I understand, but like whether or not Democrats are movable is a separate issue from whether individuals are movable. Like I just don't see them as the same. And so regardless of whether or not Democrats are movable or whatever, just like in the existence where like we have the candidates that we have, not saying that we shouldn't try to move them, not saying that we shouldn't try to replace them. Hell, I'm on the front line saying that Schumer should step down as minority leader. I'm on the front line saying that we need a primary Fetterman, we need a primary all these people. So 100% agree with you that the Democratic Party needs to move, including on Israel. But when you have a level of, I'm just gonna say, an example of a commentator who can't take a win and will, for example, criticize Mamdani as in principle being an agent of a Zionist entity that is the Democratic Party or something. It seems like it's probably not true of the broader left coalition. And you remember which side I was on in terms of that debate with Hutch. So you don't need to tell me who's a more proximate ally and who I'm happy to like collaborate with and all that stuff. But there are some individuals who embody a kind of ultimately immovable position and where they cannot be convinced, they're not in the business of being convinced, and they're going to find a way to denigrate our candidates no matter what. And that's what I think we saw in the Prime debate. But again, I don't know that there's much disagreement
Denigrate
there.
our candidates no matter what. What do you mean by that?
So I should say refuse to endorse / vote for our candidates. And I've included that in denigrate and just be like basically counter to the Democratic Party in terms of their electoral results, regardless of the outcome or the cost. That's what I mean. There's a subset of creator who is like that. And I'm not even including in that a bunch of the most famous creators. I'm saying people like Prime. And I like Prime.
Well,
and you like Prime. Like I can like people who I think are politically out to sea. Hell, I like Connor, and Connor is like, at least he calls himself a Republican. So I don't.
Maybe again, you're saying that like when I said you said that the people in the focus group hypothetical that I gave you, you'd speak to them and make different arguments than you would to Prime. But it really scares me because a lot of the Democratic base is disillusioned with the party, and they're actually closer, even if it's irrational, even if I disagree with it, to Prime's position than they are to yours. And if all libs have is you need to vote harder, you need to lick Kamala's clip more, you're not enthusiastic enough, this is your fault, just like more of that, I don't see Democrats saying.
Fuck, I'm not telling you that.
I just don't.
I'm not the messenger.
Like, where is the evidence that... What is the date for this? Is this right after the election or is this recent? Inflation and immigration remain the top 2 issues for voters. Oh, I'm guessing this was right before the election or something. Israel-Hamas conflict, 6%. Bezed.
I'm not the messenger of the party. Wait, Aaron, I'm not the messenger of the party. You know, proof is in the pudding. People like Mamdani are gathering crowds. People like Bernie and AOC. People like Gavin Newsom, right? They're messaging. And so I'm not an expert on what is the right messaging for the Democratic Party. I'm just a debater, right? I feel like Avon Barks. I'm just a gangster.
Yourself of responsibility. I was never insinuating that you have any connection to like the fucking DNC.
No,
I'm just talking about what's in your control.
I'm not representative.
And what's in your control is to just recapitulate the same strategy the Dems have been using, which is Trump bad though, Trump really bad though, Democrats slightly less bad on Israel than Trump, and acknowledge that. You have to vote. It's not working. It's the same strategy that I've seen that just failed.
So it's the same strategy that you've seen that just failed, but also one right before. Again, why do they talk like we've lost like every election in the past 2 decades? What about your guys' strategy? It sucks shit. The Justice Dems won. The next election's like almost every other candidate that they backed lost. I think the Justice Dems fucking, I don't even know if that pack exists anymore. And now it's just the 4 that are in there. Like, where is your guys' strategy? Where is it? Like every single time they put these candidates up, they get fucking crushed. I'm pretty sure Bowman got crushed. Nina Turner got crushed. Like all of these crazy, wacky, progressive leftist dudes get fucking obliterated. It was the 2 purple, blue Dems that won in Georgia for the Senate. That people like Hassan shut on all the time anyway. People like Ossoff and Warnock. Hassan attacks these guys constantly. Like you guys don't even like these people.
Being brought out again and again and again.
I'm just myself, right? Like I'm not trying to say that I'm representative of what the Democrats' approach are. I have no affiliation with the Democratic Party other than I'm a registered Democrat.
You use the same strategy though.
What do you mean? That the other side is bad? We're not supposed to use the strategy of the other side is bad. I mean, that's what you're pitching right now.
That's not the only strategy. And it's clearly not the most persuasive because Trump bad was what Democrats used in 2024 to try to get Harris elected. How'd that go? It's clearly...
Wasn't Trump bad kind of the strategy in 2020 as well, though? And how did that go? Biden got more votes than any presidential candidate in the history of the entirety of the United States of America in all of U.S. election history. I mean, what do you mean?
Can you stop with this? Can you stop with this? So I'm not saying that it is enough, but you're saying like...
Okay, well, I wasn't saying don't do it. You're the one saying, oh, so we shouldn't bring it up. That's not what I was fucking saying.
So
I was saying that it cannot be the kind of silver bullet that you think it is. It's clearly not persuasive to enough people that Trump really sucks.
Did I say that I thought it was a silver bullet?
No, I wasn't saying that. You said that that was a silver bullet.
No, you said I think it is. Wait, you just said, wait. I just want to make we didn't agree on what you just said. You just said it's clearly not the silver...
Do it. You're the one... It's clearly not enough.
Can you stop with this? Strategy of the other side is bad. I mean, that's what you're pitching right now.
That's not the only strategy. And it's clearly not the most persuasive because Trump bad was what Democrats used in 2024 to try to get Harris elected. How'd that go? It's clearly not enough.
Can you stop with this? Can you stop with this? So I'm not saying that it is enough, but you're saying like...
Okay, well, I wasn't saying don't do it. You're the one saying, oh, so we shouldn't bring it up. That's not what I was fucking saying.
So what
I
are
was
you
saying that it cannot be the kind of silver bullet that you think it is. It's clearly not persuasive to enough people that Trump really sucks.
Did I say that I thought it was a silver bullet?
No, I wasn't saying that. You said that that was a silver bullet.
No, you said
The silver bullet that I think it is. She just said that he said that, right?
Persuasive to enough people
did I
that
say-
Trump
did I-
really sucks. Cannot be the kind of silver bullet that you think it is. It's clearly not persuasive to enough people that Trump really sucks.
Did I say that I thought it was a silver bullet?
No, I wasn't saying that. You said that it
Queen.
that
I
was a
think
silver
it is.
bullet.
No, you said I think it is.
Saying,
Wait, you just said, wait, I just want to make we didn't agree on what you just said.
Okay.
You just said it's clearly not the silver bullet that you think it is. You did say that, didn't you?
Here's the
Did
thing,
you
though.
say that?
You will say.
Wait, Aaron, did you say that?
Yeah, I said that. Okay. So here's what you'll do. You'll say you don't really think that, but when I look at your actions, when I look at the argumentation that you use and what time you spend on what arguments, it's clearly like the majority of your
I
argument.
spend the time on stuff that interests me and the conversation, and I do not represent that those are going to be silver bullets. I do not represent that that's what the Democrats, the strategy the Democrats need to take. I think a positive message is more accommodating and welcoming, like, by the way, Mamdani is doing. Did you hear Mamdani? There was a clip, holy shit, that we played on Live and Learn, where he was like, we welcome everybody. I think one of the problems is that we're too purity testing. That's what Mamdani said. And Mamdani was like, having these interviews with MAGA people, he's treating them differently than I would, and that maybe I'm even capable of or even have the patience to. So I don't want to pretend that my strategy of doing these like vigorous bullying debates on Tim Pool, that's going to be what's going to attract a new generation of Democrats. I just know what I can do, what interests me, and maybe I can give some arguments that people find convincing, or the people who are convinced by debates, they can see my stuff. But no, I do not think that my approach is what the Democrats should do. I think more like Newsom is doing.
Weird to me that you have a strategy that you don't think is so effective that if you had the ability to like.
This is such a stupid point, and she knows this is a stupid point. You think that every single person's strategy across the entire spectrum of all possible public exposure should be the exact same strategy? So like Pisco, who's an online influencer guy, should have the same strategy as an elected lawmaker running for re-election, who should have the same strategy as like the chair of the DNC, who should have the same strategy as Jake Tapper, who should have the same strategy as an author of a book, who should have the same strategy as an activist who works for some no, different people have different roles and responsibilities in the political infrastructure, right? Different people can do different things.
Democrats came to you, Pisco, and were like, we're going to adopt whatever you say we ought to do when it comes to like messaging and convincing voters.
Like, I wouldn't tell fucking Biden or Kamala to message the same way that I do. I'd say probably significantly less pedophile jokes. I would say that I'm probably a little bit more edgy than you'd want to be running in. Like, but this is so I don't even know why I'm saying it. This is so obvious that no, like Pisco's advice to politicians would not be to operate in the same manner that Pisco operates. He would obviously say that.
Would you try to advocate responsibility?
Can you clarify what you mean by she knows it's stupid? Do you think she's being intentionally bad faith or something? Yes, I think Aaron is very smart. I think she's being in very intentionally bad faith here. She knows this is stupid. If you would ask her for 2 seconds, you'll go, Aaron, hold on. Do you think that Pisco's strategy online for making good content should be the exact same strategy that somebody who is running for president should employ? Do you think? She would say, okay, well, obviously not. Everybody's a different role, of course, right?
Came to you, Pisco, and we're like, we're going to adopt whatever you say we ought to do when it comes to like messaging and convincing voters. Would you try to advocate responsibility in that instance, or would you say, no, what I'm doing is I believe I'm making the most effective arguments that I can on an individual basis, and I absolutely think that if you extrapolated it and made this like the main way that the Dems tried to change their messaging to get back old voters and to attract independents, that it would work.
I'm not a fucking pollster,
in a majority of time.
I'm not a pollster. Wait, how am I supposed to know what will best attract cross section of voters to come this way?
You don't have to be a pollster.
I'm just myself. I'm just myself, and I have to be myself because I can't be otherwise. And if I'm inauthentic, right, like I can't be the one. Bless my father.
This is oh god, she does. Okay, Aaron, I've never seen her be weird, like interpersonally, I guess, like to friends. So when I say this, I just mean in terms of debate pervertry. Okay, I'm not implying she's like Kelly or Lav or any of these people. Okay, but she has a lot of the gaslighty arguments, right? So I had a name for this before. I don't know what to call this, but it's where you swing back and forth between like. You swing back and forth between a specific word and then a general concept, and you like do it very fluidly. So imagine you're talking about fuck, I'm trying to think. Fuck, these are like advanced level. Like imagine you're talking about like saving a forest. And so like Aaron would say something along the lines of like, I'm trying to think. Aaron would say something along the lines of like, could you, fuck, I don't know. Like our rhetoric should be like a fungus that algae that cleans the water. I don't fucking know, something like this. Some general thing. You know that's not what she means exactly, right? And then you respond with some shit where it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not like a honey badger. I don't build dams or something. And then she's like, I didn't say that you were a honey badger. Or that you have to be a honey badger. It's this weird thing. She just did this with the word pollster. Hold on. I just want to, she does this a lot in conversation. I'm not going to pull it up.
That it would work and change them. If you extrapolated it and made this like the main way that the Dems tried to change their messaging to get back old voters and to attract independents, that it would work.
I'm not a
So she's talking about like
Pisco, and we're like, if you had the ability to like, Democrats came to you, Pisco, and we're like, we're going to adopt whatever you say we ought to do when it comes to like messaging and convincing voters, would you try to abdicate responsibility?
So like when she asks this question, right? If Pisco were to respond, well, the Democrats haven't come to me and asked me specifically what to do, right? Well, okay, that's not what she's saying, Pisco, right? She's asking in a broad sense, like, what would you recommend, right? Obviously, that's what she's saying, right? Every human being that's listening to the conversation knows, right? And Pisco knows this, so he responds to that, to the idea, not to the specific, right? Okay, Democrats have reached out to me. This is what, right? He's speaking in general to the concept, right?
In that instance, or would you say, no, what I'm doing is I believe I'm making the most effective arguments that I can on an individual basis. And I absolutely think that if you extrapolated it and made this like the main way that the Dems tried to change their messaging to get back old voters and to attract independents, that it would work.
I'm not a fucking
that it would work
pollster,
in a majority of time.
I'm not a
And then Pisco's response. Wow. How's life? Okay, I have like DMs and emails to catch up on, so. Prepare to be bored. What the fuck is this? Oh, I don't know. Okay. New Brad Taste apology. Oh, he messaged me. We might chat today. I have no idea what we would possibly chat about, but I tried cocaine for the first time in my life, like 2 nights ago. I'm gonna be honest, I got nothing out of it. I didn't have my Vyvanse that day or anything. I'm guessing I just didn't do enough of it. I did like 3 kind of small lines because I didn't know much in terms of how much I wanted to die or not. And I spent the next hour and a half with the most disgusting. It tasted like MDMA, like just dripping into the back of my throat. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, imagine like old blood coated copper pennies that are ground up and then fed to you. Ugh. I don't know if the ADHD thing and the fact that I'm on Vyvanse means I like would naturally have like a higher tolerance to cocaine, so I need to do a little bit more or something. I don't know, but were you drinking at all? I had like a few mixed drinks, so maybe, but feels like a waste of an experience. I don't know. Gotta boof it. True. Ugh. Okay, you're watching this while I speedrun my DMs. Go like.
Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did CPS, the CPS logo with the 2 skulls, of course, 2 skulls. Not a reference to anything in particular.
He knowingly defames people. In my last video, I pointed out that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it. His response is to give the most forced laugh I've ever heard. And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains that I called Lonerbox, that I said that Lonerbox's dad participated in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, which he absolutely did, by the way. Lonerbox has never disproven this until he disproves that it's true.
So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that when my dox gets found, Bad Empanada immediately posted everywhere. Uploads a video blasting my name, my bride's name, the address of her wedding, all over the internet. It's also come out that he's swatting people, filing fake police reports, all while plugging his Patreon. So I figured if he's making money off of my dox, I should too. So thank you, Exter, for helping me cope. Do you have a big, fat, bulky wallet that's worn and beat down like this? Is your friend or family member living with the same burdens in life? Well, not anymore, because Exker is making the smartest wallets in the game. I've been using Exker for about a month now, and this thing is slick. You got this high quality leather, a place to put a picture or some cash, and at the click of a button, you got access to all your cards. It never gets old. I haven't lost my wallet the entire time because I've been using the Esker Finder card. It's literally shaped like a credit card. It fits seamlessly into my wallet, and like all great wallets, it comes in a variety of different colors and designs. So no matter who you are, you can find the one that suits you. Exter also sent me this travel pack vacuum kit. This little thing's the vacuum. I have this big pile of clothes. I squeezed all of these clothes in. It barely zips up. The vacuum attaches here and boom, it's like 25% of the size. It will fit much better in your suitcase or backpack. From wallets and key cases to backpacks and card trackers, Exter does it all in a stylish and convenient way. So make sure you use code WillyMaxShow at partner.exter.com/WillyMaxShow2025 to get up to 42% off your order.
42%!
Thank you, Exter, for sponsoring this video. So where were we? Oh yeah, Bad Empanada empanada fabricating entire background stories about me and my wife.
A certain slop tuber who does nothing but make videos in which he attacks pro-Palestinian people and de facto, as a result of that, helps to further Israel's genocide in Gaza, has been outed as having been honeypotted by Israel. Israel is literally assigning slop tubers government-assigned Israeli wives.
Man, Mossad's really good at their job, because me and my girl started dating 8 years ago when I was still a nobody on YouTube.
So the slop tuber in question is Willie Mack Show. He's suddenly
Notice how Willie Mack didn't actually deny the accusation that he got honeypotted. Israel could be planting future seeds. Maybe the only reason Willie Mack made it as a YouTuber is because this honeypot was successful. So Israel boosted his channel. Just saying.
making pro-Israel content constantly, is suddenly making nothing but videos attacking pro-Palestine people.
I covered Assad before all this. It just turns out a war starting in the Middle East didn't make him any better at covering the news. So guess what? I was able to make more YouTube videos. He never addresses my actual points. It's just character assassinations for why I should be doxxed. Bad Empanada then doxes another YouTuber with the justification that he's a Nazi and that it's for journalistic interest. And then he says that's why it's important to dox me and my wife because she's Israeli.
You're actually allowed to reveal personal information about people, especially their real names, if it's within journalistic interest. You know, if there is journalistic reason for doing so. And exposing a clear conflict of interest in this guy's content and his personal life is journalistic interest. It's why, for example, I can tell you that the YouTuber Zoomer Historian, a neo-Nazi history YouTuber, is this guy. I can tell you this because it is within journalistic interest to do so, even though he did not release his information himself publicly. Just like how I can tell you that Willie Mack Show is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting
He does. He scrolls down and up and does it.
married to.
He literally just scrolled down and
Yeah.
showed her full name. I reported the video and he added this little blur, but it still doesn't cover her name.
She is Israeli, and she was assigned to him by the Israeli government. They've taken down this page, but as you can see, it is freely available on Google. They, for some reason, as the guy who is a public figure, decided to just publicly announce in public his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like Ethan doxed Denim when he sued them.
This guy has no right to complain about revealing his real name to be doxing. Because Willie Mack Show went on the H3 podcast, which is a podcast that frequently doxes people. In Ethan's recent video...
Sorry, just as a quick thing, before we finish this. So Chud Logic has apparently taken a stand very bravely against Willie Mack. Thank God. And it's funny because you can see, wait, like the usual suspects in his chat over it. And you've got Augie over there. A lot of these names are from Driscoll's chat, but you have the man himself is over there. You know, all of them are supporting each other, giving each other big pats on the back. My last DMs with Willie Mack were on July 24th. I just messaged him to tell him that, to make sure that he knew that his wife and wedding were being doxxed. That's the last time I've talked to him, and I don't really talk to him. And then before that, like March 10th was the last time I spoke with him. Which I think had to do with the whatever interview video we did. But I only bring that up because I see I've been out of town. I've been unplugged for the past 2 days, so I don't know what's been going on. So I just am following up on like DMs that people are sending me. But apparently, Jessica was trying to say, dude, I'm just realizing Willie Mack is almost certainly in Destiny's DMs. Where's the proof, Destiny? You have the proof, right? Destiny, you're not just like a son. I don't talk to Willie Mack about any of his videos or any of the shit that he does. I don't know why or where this idea comes from, other than all of these people have the same stance that because they're trying to control everything behind the scenes, I must be trying to control everything behind the scenes. But I'm very open. Okay, I'm like Donald Trump right now. Okay, I'm very open about everything I do right now. You can see everything I do. People are not happy with it. Well, here it is.
Video talking about his lawsuit against 3 young women. He included unredacted legal filings that he made that include their real names and their real locations.
That's just how legal filings work.
Here's a video clip of Ethan Klein doxing a random Instagram commenter on his show. Ethan goes through the guy's Instagram, brings up pictures of his family members.
Commenter commented from their Instagram account with their full name talking trash to Ethan. It had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name. At the end of the day, my crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast. He's nonstop lying about me and my wife, saying she was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're valid targets. He posted a photo of what he thinks is my wife in the IDF, but they're actually just pictures of random teenage girls. I asked my wife what...
Come on, like you and Willie Mack don't talk at the Jew alumni meetings? He is just barely there. You don't get into the Jew alumni meetings until a year after you've been married to a Jew. So his wife's been in the meetings. I guess it's possible his wife tells him stuff that comes from the meetings, though you're not supposed to leak. But no, he won't be fully... what's not indicted? Inducted into the chat for like 360 or whatever days.
This was, and she thinks it's the Israeli Girl Scouts, so he's just posting little girls on Twitter. My wife didn't serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation. He's just being racist. But the worst thing he did was post the date and address of her wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it. But nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William McConville are getting married very soon. Yale, who is Israeli and Israeli government-provided wife.
So now our wedding is being messed with, and they are wasting the time of our venue, the hotel, and 2 police stations. It's costing me thousands of extra dollars in insurance and potentially closing down the entire building, and my bride is coming up to me and asking me if we're about to be double homicided at her wedding. I'm like, no, baby, these people don't leave their mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So
Wait, is that... Wait, were there 2 more people killed? Or were there... I thought the 2 Jewish people that got killed were coming out of like a museum or whatever. Was it an embassy? I thought that was a museum. Hold on, let me just double check on that. 2 Jewish staffers killed USA outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum at Washington, D.C. on May 21st. Okay.
So I'm being told by the police that I should double staffers at the Israeli embassy, her mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried.
Okay. The only reason I say that is I feel like it's a bit more spooky. It's not like the guy went and shot up the embassy. Pretty sure he was just killing people coming out of the museum, which is really weird. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny. That's kind of fucked. But
So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and see if there's any direct threats. And I see a video made by a guy who hates me, showing all of my information and giving a hypothetical where I'm a valid target because Destiny's a hypocrite.
Stevie said anything involving this bad empanada guy or anyone that supports him is justifiable ammo. Anything is justified against bad empanada and anyone that supports him. Let's apply those standards. Why are we saying this about bad empanada? Well, it appears to be because bad empanada doxed Willie Mack's wife. So would Destiny be saying that those who dox people, those who make calls to violence...
Just so you know, right, if you're not autistic, you can tell, like, all of this is, like, fun and games to them, right? I'm only saying this because it's annoying because when they go outside of the community, whenever they use words like gisticle, all of them are like, doxing is horrible, blah, blah, blah. But, like, when they're talking about it, it's, like, giggly and funny and, like, laughing and, like, oh, so you're saying it's okay, haha, right? Because it's all, like, because they all already do this shit and they know it, right? And they're just relying on random audiences in the peripheral to not be aware of it. But again, there's a reason why there's so much exchange between the people on Kiwi farms, between all these unhinged Discord servers, between all of these different communities, between all the people that are doxing, and why all of it until recently was all happening on just one side. They know it. They're all aware of it.
Violence or allusions to violence.
And the only defense that they can have is this pushback. Like, show me in my community, where is the docs posted exactly? Show me in my Discord server. Where is it? I don't have any connections to that. Where? And it's like, okay, all right, Chief.
Should be fair game, and all of their supporters, all the personalities that back them up, all the chatters that back him up.
This is essentially a Destiny snark community. This guy's narrative for the past 6 months is that I'm covering for Destiny despite me making 2 of the most in-depth videos criticizing him. Their evidence behind this is I said Destiny is better at covering the news than Hassan and Vosh, which is somebody who has made videos on all 3 of these people. I think that's objectively true, but I digress. But most importantly, it's that when these 2 do something stupid, I make fun of them back. The truth is, Bad Empanada did not originate my docs.
Okay. Apparently this was in response to that video too. Oh, this is from Spicy Chat. It's hard to keep the chat separate sometimes because it's all the same fucking people. Dude, this is crazy. Willie's just lying. There's no way he's this retarded. This is retarded. This retarded never bothered unlisting his wedding site, but notice how no one posted it here. I think I already showed on stream, but they were literally posting pictures of Willie and his wife in pictures together. But maybe they didn't post the actual exact URL to the wedding site, but like this is like the game they play, you know? Calling his new wife fat? His wife isn't even like a content creator. But like what, it's just like so unhinged and crazy. Like what the fuck? Jesus. Oh, here's our good friend Gistigal. Oof. How do you feel if you're in Gistical's Discord and he types more in Spicy Chat than he does in his Discord server? He's trying to milk you guys for the last of your patron money. Oof. I don't know how you could cover Keffels, condemn them sufficiently, and leave out the blatant lying Keffels did in attributing her harassment. Brother, ... Destiny Snark is based. Snark is based. Yeah, guys, we should all just pretend all these disgusting rats are perfect. No, we laugh at their insane behavior. Like, that's the only 2 options. You either have to say we're all perfect, or you have to stalk and dox and obsess over every single possible thing relating to, I guess, every bit of everybody's personal lives on my end of things. He will get away with this too, although I hope not. Ethan fans are unhinged too. It could easily lead to him causing harassment or doxing. And that's not even counting DGG. Jesus Christ. Fuck Willie. I'm still confused. I love the history rewriting. I'm still confused as to why Willie gets any respect whatsoever. What's he done? Some shit videos on Hassan? And before that, I never liked him anyway. I'm not sure if I want to wait and respond to this Willie video. He just lies and says Queemans and this community has been dropping mass docs. Literally didn't check a single fact the entire time. Oh, this is in Justical's Discord server, probably? I don't think this Kelly Jean is the real Kelly Jean. The only doxer we had here was a Darius chatter, and it was a super personal, retarded drama between 2 ex-lovers. This is so dumb. I hate the Destiny Trump tactic is working. Ah! Driscoll, did you see Willie calling Augie a doxer and defending Destiny? Saw most of the video. It is very pathetic. Ooh, 55. Oh my God. My secret agent's doing work. Like A dozen different complete lies about me and one of my friends?
He maliciously spread it everywhere, but my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me. He literally gets a donation that says, I understand what we must do. Wink, wink.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him. No?
Like, again, this is just like the Israel-Palestine shit. When Israel does some shit, people are like, you know that, like, you guys are gonna get attacked now by terrorists if you do this. Like, yeah, it's already happening. Like, you guys already do everything anyway, no matter what. Like what more? like, there's nothing you can really threaten. Like, your communities are already like maximum unhinged.
Is justifiable.
Unless you guys want to put together like real life death squads and start showing up at homes.
Against Destiny and the people who support him. No? Is that not the standard? That's what he's laying out for me here. Now I have principles. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's not me.
As he's literally showing my docs.
But Destiny is very clearly laying out that those are the standards that he believes in. Those are the standards he wishes.
Just to be clear, these are not the standards I believe in. I think all this shit is insanely fucking unhinged, but I've been tired of dealing with it for 6 months with no retribution. So now we do the retribution. And if you don't like it, and if this is making you really unhinged and you really uncomfortable, and now you have people like Ryle, Kittenhouse, or whatever, deleting all their accounts because they don't like the fact that now we know he's a 3-time convicted felon or whatever, well, then stop doing it. And as soon as your side brings it down, well, then maybe I'll chill. It's like super easy. I think all this shit is super ultra fucking unhinged, but I mean, like, if this is like, it cannot be the fact that you could say, well, it's not posted to my server directly, but there's every single person has accounts on like all the different sites, and all of you guys are friends with each other, and all of it gets posted, and all the information just happens to wind up in some kind of form across all the different platforms. As long as that happens, well then fine, fuck it. If you want to play stupid, that's fine. I'm not gonna play stupid. I'll just be upfront about it. And if you want to get mad about that, then fine. But hey, as soon as you stop,
is to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence.
Also, what does the Destiny standard have to do with Willie Mack's show? It is, I don't even know why, actually. Maybe because these people are bored. I don't know why these people hate me so much. I don't even want to be a part of their community. I just do politics, okay? 2024 onwards, I just want to cover politics. That's it. Maybe it's for the views, or maybe they're bored. I don't know. But if you have to either say I'm like fully 1 trillion quadrillion % a super rapist, or you're 1 trillion % pro Destiny rape, and you're a new Ghislaine Maxwell rape enabler. Like, that's it. There's no in between. So that's just the MO for this crowd. So anything that I say, if you're another person on the internet and you're not like affirming 1 million % that I'm a rapist, then you're in the same exact camp as me. It's just fucking retarded.
Those are the standards he wishes to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence, anything is justifiable against you and your supporters.
Order taken.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, Max. Actually, I just explicitly said otherwise, actually, Max.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, nice! Oh, I gotta be careful before I comment ahead of time, because I gave Willie the full script for his video, and I just remembered I pulled that from the script. My bad, Willie. I didn't mean to out you there, buddy. My bad. I guess there is a lot more information going between the Jalumni chat directly to Willie than I thought. No, but I'm glad that he catches it, right? This is like there are ways that people talk about things where you can tell how they really feel about things. And, you know, when somebody logs in and they're like, guys, like, I feel like things are just really weird right now. Like, I feel like people are doxing me. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take a little break and figure out what's going on. Like, that's one thing. But when somebody's like, guys, they think that, guys, they're doxing everybody. And, well, if you're going to be doxing, then, well, maybe we're going to. Like, come on, bro.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing. This thing gets retweeted by his friend J-Stock, who pushed the exact same narratives about me. I'm obviously very unhappy about this. It's affecting my real life. But instead of anyone actually acknowledging this, they do what Bad Empanada did and try to hypocrisy hunt to justify their actions. They're like, why aren't you mad at Destiny? He quote tweeted your docs too.
Why aren't you mad at Destiny himself?
Destiny is defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who...
Do you see how that works? This is one of the reasons why it's so hard to talk about it, and I can't just openly be like, oh, hey, on KF, XYZ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever docs was posted, right? Because anytime the docs involve two, it's like difficult to even talk about it or around it without bringing more attention to it, which is one of the things that they kind of thrive on, because you can't be as open about it because now you're also publicizing the docs, you know? But I'm sorry, Willie. I don't know if this fucked Willie or not. Oh, I guess maybe he sounds like it doesn't fuck him too, but now I don't care. Now I just like, fuck it. If you're docs, you're docs. I'm not going to let that slow me down and outing these fucking weirdos.
Destiny himself.
Destiny is defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who hate me. We're acting like context and scale don't matter. It was actually kind of nice to see someone with a big audience who I've criticized in the past stand up for me and say this is wrong. But look at this comment. Willie refuses to acknowledge the obvious, that Destiny is the biggest proponent in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works, proponent?
I wonder who this account is even. Wait, hold on. I haven't checked this. It might be nothing. I'm just curious. Chemo. Oh, fuck. I think they deleted their... Oh, they deleted all their comments. I wonder why. Well...
in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works? They hate Destiny so much they're ignoring the very reality we live in. That's what I don't get at all. Is he perfectly fine with his docs being—
Oh wait, what the fuck? Do these... Oh wait, just kidding. Never mind. They need to delete this one. Okay. Can I say how much I hate... I don't know how to describe this, but I guess in order to save resources, on some websites, I say on some websites, on Reddit, you know that when you scroll down, it's actually deloading a lot of what was earlier in this page, right? Like if I try to go back up, it has to reload the thing. So if I were to Control F right now and search for a name or search for something, it wouldn't show up because it's actually unloading these. See, when you go back up, it's unloading the things and it has to reload them when you scroll. Oh, it's fucking annoying. Okay, sorry.
being spread around as long as the person who's spreading it is condemning it? At this point, my docs is already spread. The toothpaste is out of the bottle. What bothered me most in this moment was the narrative that I deserve it, or that it's part of some greater destiny justice. If Queeman pulled up my docs and only said Bad Empanada sucks for this, I wouldn't care. It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious, yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willie says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSOC's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit, it's as if context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time. Just
Who even is this guy?
a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of JStock's docs. He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to
Oh, that's Augie? That's what Augie looks like, fucking Adam Sandler from... What was the name of that movie? Big Daddy? Wait, what? What? Am I making this up? What am I thinking of? Fuck, does he have a scene with a hat here? Okay, whatever.
I was like,
He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
The Augie guy hates you, I think, because of the Trump firefighter comments. No, what happened with Augie and Nicholas Diorio was I think they were I don't call them super fans, but I think they were really big fans of me. And then Pixie's Rapifesto on me dropped. And so they had to pull like an Anthony Fantano with Sam Hyde, right, in order to prove how not fans of me they were ever, or how much they condemn me. They like 180'd into ultra omega anti-fans, but then they also got drafted into this weird like gistical side group, and so it like fostered and grown from there.
literally days.
They always hated you? I don't think so. Well, Nicholas Diorio definitely didn't. I'm pretty sure I've been like in off-stream chats with him before, unless he secretly hated me and never said it. I don't know about Augie. I'm gonna be honest. Augie and Nicholas like occupy the same spot in my mind, and that I think I'm probably conflating the two a bit. But maybe Augie never was a fan. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just Diorio. I'm thinking of.
After he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willie's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that...
Remember, I wish I could drill this into everybody's brain. The ultimate red flag for a bad faith actor is when they can never, ever, ever give an accurate summary of why the other side feels the way they do. That's always a huge red flag, right? Like, oh, why is this guy so mad at him? Oh, I think he's mad at him because he said something mean about him. It's like, really? That's what's driving all of this? It's not nothing else? That even from their perspective, they would agree with that summary of things?
Queeman and J-Stock were saying. And basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny to get upset at, you know, Willie Mack for getting doxxed when he has a history of doxing people and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So
just as a heads up, all of this is, and again, you have no power over me because I don't give a fuck about any of these people and I don't give a fuck about openly saying what I do. Yeah, I do support all of this stuff, and I will continue to support it as long as your community does. Like, eat shit. This is not going to be a boogeyman thing where it's like, wait, did somebody hear that he support? Yeah, I do, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care if that makes you mad. I don't care if you get ass pain. I don't care if you want to run to other fucking loser commentary people and talk about it. The reality is that if you guys are all going to do this on your side for months and months and months, which you have, well then yeah, I'm going to start doing it too. Get fucked, get bent. I don't give a fuck. And I hope more of you fuckers delete your accounts as I find you creepy fucking weirdos, okay? But remember, this only started because this is where you wanted to go, all right? And now we're here, so welcome.
Of doxing people, and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So he never plays the context and then acts like the reason I'm mad is because they called Destiny a hypocrite. Nothing about my wedding or my bride. How is that possible unless you're being bad faith? I'm not even sure if Augie knows what a dog whistle is. He's like, unless Queeman pulls up Willie's docs and then says, I love doxing Willie, it's all fine.
It's not even really a point against Willie Mack. It was mainly a point against Destiny. I don't think at any point Queeman was like, yeah, and he got doxed, I love that. You know?
Like, it's so fucking stupid how childish these people act, right? Like, this is the equivalent to, fuck, I can't use Trump as an example because he's so blatant. But I mean, I can. It's like the equivalent to, like, how can you convict that guy of first-degree murder when the guy never said, I knowing the consequences of what I'm about to do, I'm going to pull the trigger on this gun fully expecting the other person to die. It's like, how can you know his state of mind? There's no way that we could ever possibly know what was going on in his head. How could you ever do this? Like,
I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed J-Stock and Queeman. His motivation
and Jessica's editor too, who's gone.
Behind this is that everyone they associate with him ends up getting doxed and harassed, so he's doing it back to them. The victims I know are Destiny's girlfriend, Dan Saltman and his family, me and my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up
Josiah, like, yeah, there's, like, and it feels bad, I can't even talk about it, because if I say it, it even sounds horrible, but yes, yeah, it's unhinged.
These employees saying she was swatted.
Like, at this point, these side communities are fucking yellow pages, okay? For everybody who's ever been associated with me. What the fuck?
My wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up Destiny's employees saying she was swatted.
I was also swatted.
Oh, Kyla, yeah.
Now, why would she be saying that she was also swatted in a reply to this clip? Is she saying that J-Stock and Queeman had some part in her...
Yes! Kiwi Farms has an unhinged obsession with Kyla. They are telling people to call ICE on her to break her fucking visa shit. Yes. And Justical and all of them know it. That's why Justical brings his mentally ill BPD queen on stream constantly to talk about Kyla and all the other fucking crazy unhinged shit these guys do. Yes, they all know about it. There's the plausible deniability shit doesn't work here, okay? No, we're not fucking retarded. Or I'm not gonna be private about it anymore. No, you guys are fucking crazy. It's not a coincidence that all of these people just happen to be in your community. It's unhinged.
Getting swatted? Or that their communities had some part in this?
Yes, obviously, but it's all just a coincidence to Augie. Augie pulls up another example of a Destiny viewer saying they're getting threatening letters sent to their house, and Destiny's like...
Oh, not Destiny viewers. That was a member of Justical's Discord server, actually.
I don't believe them, but even if that happened, it's still not that community's fault.
A couple months ago, because I'm a fan of Destiny in the JSUG server, someone in his community sent a letter to my home. I've moved since then. Thanks for telling us, by the way. To my house saying I defend Destiny because I want to rape my wife and my patients. I'm gonna put an X to doubt on that one. And even if it did happen, right? Who's responsible for that?
What about the guy
It was a person in Justicle's Discord server. This wasn't even from my audience. That's where this came from. That's who that guy was. He was a person in Justicle's Discord server. And then Justicle banned him from his Discord server.
dog whistling that I'm a valid target and getting a dono saying they understand his orders?
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him.
I don't think creators are responsible for every one of their unhinged viewers, but it is not normal for a community this small to have so much doxing coming out of it. I've made videos on communists, Nazis, misogynists, feminists, scammers, and traffickers. People with millions of followers, yet this tiny little community is where all this doxing takes place and it's just out of their hands. Dude, they're obviously feeding into it, but Augie knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing on them accurately. J-Stalk has criticized Destiny for creating
Because the problem is that those guys like Augie and them, they get all of their info directly from Juice Stalker and everybody else, right? And of course they're just telling them, hey, that we don't know anything about this, nothing's happening here. Like, look at my server. Look, we ban all of that, we disavow all of that. Ha 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 ha. Just to be clear, the guy that got doxed was banned by Justicle. People might think Justicle banned the doxer. Yeah, the guy that got the letter to his house was banned by Justicle from the server. Yeah.
a metaphorical rape machine, partially because he had sex with BPD girls. Then when these girls call him out for being abusive, everyone thinks they're just crazy. J-Stalk then had sex with the same BPD girl.
Everything Destiny's saying here is true.
And committed her for 72 hours. And then when she came out, welcomed her with open arms. Fuck. The funny thing is, oh no, who sent me these screenshots? I don't know if I don't have them on hand. The funny thing is, because Cherry would go through moments of, Cherry has like phases. It's like the moon, okay? She's crazy for a bit, and then she's not crazy. And when she's not crazy, she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm crazy for a bit. There was, when she came out of confinement, she was even typing messages in Jessica's server. She's like, I know the only reason you guys are nice to me is because Jessica is literally telling you guys. And Cherry like calls it out exactly. She literally says, like, I know this is what it means when Jessica's on stream and he says, hey guys, we like Cherry. It's because he's telling you guys not to shit on me. I'm aware of that. Who sent me those DMs? Resend them. Oh. Thank you. Fuck, what was the date on these? But like, even like, and maybe they'll say, you know, retroactively, like, oh no, this is all a joke, lol, it was just joke, haha, because that's what they do with everything. But like, Cherry's even aware of like how she's being weaponized by Jessica's community. I think it's more interesting knowing he banned me as soon as I got home and still hated him. Oh, because I think Jessica didn't want to say anything bad about him as soon as she got out. It's okay. Just, I know most of you do whatever he tells you to do regarding me. Here to loop, like a good little BPD co-host. That's why he says shit like, quote, no, we like Cherry still, end quote. You've got your vague orders. Like, Cherry knows what's going on. They all know what's going on. They just pretend when they're talking to other communities that they can't possibly, you know, do any of this. So this is crazy, and you're insane, and where's the evidence to do it? Yeah.
Actually, it's not true. Actually, everything Destiny's saying here is complete bullshit. Destiny says, and to think that this was the same guy, J-Stock Jewstalker, who spent the last year saying having sex with mentally ill people equals rape. Crazy, huh? No, you f***ing retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default.
The argument literally was, wow, crazy how all of these mentally ill girls, which by the way, are the people that you see online that get exploded out online, okay? The vast majority of the people I bang are completely fucking normal, are never on the fucking internet now because you guys are insane, okay? Are totally chill, ordinary people. But the argument has always been that I explicitly pick these people out and then I subtly manipulate them with reverse mindfuck psychology. Because remember, when I sent Lav that one message saying like, hey, I know we hooked up in the past and you're jumping on stream now, just want to make sure that you know there's like nothing weird or whatever, and then she joked about it, that was actually me. Remember, this is Mr. Girl's argument. That was me being 180 manipulative in order to give me plausible deniability, okay? And then also the fact that there has never in the history of all of DMs ever been a DM of me manipulating anybody or anything, but that's because I'm super good at hiding all of it and super secretly doing it. It's so fucking retarded. But I'm always choosing the mentally ill people because I know they're the easiest ones to manipulate. Never mind the fact that Gistigal is literally bringing Cherry on 24/7 to shit on every single person in my orbit after she's literally been forcibly committed for being suicidal, for being too heavily involved in online communities. Relly sweeping for Gistigal. Wait, what is this?
See for like his Hassan videos, just show me something where J-Stock's like, yeah.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh, this fucking retard is so stupid. Okay, sorry, hold on. I'm just responding to this because it gets asked every time. Destiny, disregard if I'm retarded, but why even give these degens the time of day? These people are nobodies, to be honest. These people are nobodies, but the problem is everything they say gets amplified all the way up to Hassan Piker. And the issue is that once Hassan is starting to repeat stuff, if Hassan says something crazy and I go, hold on, I know that what Hassan just said sounds crazy, but you have to understand. What's actually happening is that information is first getting posted to another place like Kiwi Farms, and then users are taking bits and pieces of that information, they're disseminating it across a ton of different Discord servers, where all of these people visit the other servers, and then all of them eventually make commentary videos about it online, where they pretend not to have any direct connection to Kiwi Farms, but the information that gets posted there originally is always ending up in these videos, and then it's being used to subtly craft a narrative that's pushing all of these people against me in a certain direction, and is also being used to harass these people around me in real life as much as possible. And that's why, when Hassan amplifies it, it's bad. That I sound crazy. I sound like an actual schizo when I say that, right? So that's why I kind of have to, I don't want to be involved in like this type of shit, just to be clear, right? There's a reason why through like all of 2024, I don't talk about any of this shit, or I try to ignore them, or it's whatever. Personally, because I think it's kind of boring. I'd rather be reading about more boring shit. I'd rather be doing more deep dives into how does a fear and cleavage site organically wind up in some place, and is a 12 nucleotide insertion out of frame evidence of lab leak theory or not, right? That's more interesting to me. That's what I'd rather do. I'd rather have 3,000 viewers, okay, going over autistic boring shit. But the issue is that if it's now to the point, in the past you would ignore people like this, because if you ignore people like this, they go away. But if they're getting amplified by people like Hassan, well, I can't really ignore it. And then it sounds really credible when there's so much backing it up. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to spend a little bit more time kind of deconstructing this insane apparatus that is existing here now. Because otherwise, yeah, you just seem like crazy when you bring it up. So
please see for like his Hassan videos, just show me something where JStock's like, yeah, it's okay for these people to be doxxed. We're only halfway through the video. Maybe that's what, just show me anything that illustrates, because is Willie Mack making the argument that JStock is like offline messaging people, or like offline talking to people in a way that would do this? Or like, where is the gearing of his audience to be like, yeah, no, it's totally fine to dox Willie Mack, and actually I like Erudite being.
Yeah, like he's fucking retarded. He's just retarded. I don't know. He spent a lot of time in that community too, though. So I don't know. Just whatever it is. It is what it is.
The argument that you have sex with mentally ill people.
What would happen if you blocked them all on everything? Would it dent your bank account? Just making political streams in an isolated void? Well, the problem is that like people get the most unhinged thoughts about me or assumptions about me based on what they've heard on some of these other streams. Honestly, if you want to hear my problems with it, just listen to Hassan, because Hassan picks up and copies every single thing I say now. But where's the clip of Hassan hijacking my explanation where he's like, a lot of people don't like me just because of crazy clips they've seen of me online, and then, if they would just watch my content, they'd get a better understanding. That's a line that he stole from me, because it's true in my perspective, right? Because to these people, they present me as being literally fucking like boogeyman Hitler. It's insane.
Retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default. The argument is that you don't give a fuck about their consent because you share their images, videos of them doing all kinds of sexual stuff. You'll share that with anyone.
No, Augie. JStock actually specifically said it's not about sharing images.
I think that the main talking point is that Destiny distributes people's nudes. And, like, it's like a weird
I think that's not the main talking point. I think one of the a massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work?
Just as a reminder, I don't know if this still exists in Justical server, okay? Because I get told things. I think somebody can check now. Apparently in Justical server, he got so irritated because the narrative is like swung so far in the other direction now that if you even come across as remotely defending me in Justical's Discord server, they've made a new channel called the E-Rape Defense server where you automatically get quarantined off into. But so also, to be fair to Justical, Willie Mack is quoting him here, but his position might have changed because all of the positions have changed over time since January when Pixie's fucking unhinged rape stack first dropped about me to now when it's like, oh shit, maybe like 98% of what was said is actually complete and total horseshit.
Massive talking point, which you'd know if you watch the Sunday video. It's not just...
Oh yeah, you just gotta watch the President Sunday video. If you just watch the President Sunday video, you'd understand everything. Okay.
Point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work? It's a massive talking point, which you'd know if you watch the Sunday video. It's not just about nudes, bro. It's about a system that let this happen for so long.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims.
One of which Justical literally is now dating that he features on his stream commonly after she tried to kill herself and he had her forcibly committed because of her suicidality.
Filters.
Oh, she wasn't on yesterday. Good job. Let's see. Was she on the day before? Nope. Good job. Oh, there she is here. I wonder what they're doing here. I think it's insane if you have a girl who's literally, you called 911 to get her locked up because she was suicidal, and then you're throwing her right back into the most unhinged and insane online communities that you can, into drama to fight. That's crazy to me. I hope that if Cherry kills herself, I hope that like Just to Go receives the appropriate amount of social shame for that, because holy fuck, that's wild. Oh, there she is 4 days ago. Is that her 5 and 6 days ago? I can't see over the multiple people in. That's just unhinged, bro. Somehow I'll get blamed for that, though. Based.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily construed as hysterical or deceptive when they complain about their treatment.
So when it leaks that J-Stalk is having a secret relationship with the same BPD girl and she crashes out on him multiple times, it's funny. I'm giving him shit. I'm allowed to talk shit back to these people. I talked to Augie about the same exact thing a month ago and told him if he wanted to find it, he could just watch the ending to my second Destiny video. But he didn't watch it. He'd rather make stuff up. Bro, you're sitting at a computer right now. Feel free to use it. Augie ends this hour-long segment on me summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me.
Oh, they do still have this. Apparently this was yesterday. I don't even mind a lot of the people who post in the E-Rape channel. It's just best to keep them quarantined, to not turn this gen chat into a slog. If you don't, you have to do, you have to carry his narrative 100% or they will ban you from the Discord. This is why everybody in the Discord eventually grows to think I'm like some mentally ill BPD girl rapist or whatever, because you have to have that, I guess, understanding of me.
Me summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me, feeding into the narrative that got me doxxed in the first place.
Remember, I control Willie Mack, I control Ethan Klein, I control Dan Saltman, I control every hater that Hassan has ever had, I control. Just every single person online. But I understand now why. I understand. It's the projection thing. I keep saying that. I keep never giving the projection thing enough credit. Oh, Hutch, yeah. And it's because it is literally what they do. They're running around in DMs telling each other, like, hey, you have to do this. Hey, we got to talk about this. Hey, we need to do this. This is the fucking, it's like the Trump propaganda thing, but like unironically, for real. Actually, wait. Am I friends with Queeman? No, I'm not. Profile. 10 mutual friends. Oh, because you can check who's friends with who here. I wonder who he's controlling here. Okay.
Hard to like logically understand why he's posting this shit. I mean, the two options is literally just he's like brain dead retarded right now, or he's controlled opposition.
Yes, true. Good job, Willie. Sorry, guys. I've been streaming off hours sometimes because it's just so much script writing I have to do for so many different people to get all of them on my side. But the thing that sucks is that they actually do this because they have nothing else going on in their lives. These people have nothing besides like the online gossipy drama shit.
Really? That's all you could think of? Well, let me give you a third option. Our wedding is having to prepare for fake bomb threats, and my bride is worried about us and our family getting shot. Augie never once brings this up as a possibility for why I'm frustrated. It doesn't cross his mind. Seriously, if that's the extent of your analysis, you need to quit. In my last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is that same sympathy when it's happening to me and my wife? He shares the same empathy meter with Ian.
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up.
The most reassuring news I got was when my wedding planner told me that she talked to the venue and they told her that the riffraff doesn't bother them because they've done celebrity weddings and that they're in a Jewish neighborhood, so they're used to getting calls like this. In one sense, very reassuring because it means our venue wasn't spooked, and in another sense, very depressing because it means people are just calling and harassing this place because they're in a Jewish neighborhood. I don't know what should happen when it comes to Destiny or a snark community doxing each other and others, but what I do know is Bad Empanada needs to be banned. He nonstop slanders people, doxes people, and harasses them. He recently swatted Kraut by falsely reporting him to the Austrian police for hacking his alt Twitter accounts. I don't think they were ever—
And this is my issue, okay? If you want to get into like the doxing, swatting wars or whatever, like personally, I do think it's bad. If for no other reason, because I think it's kind of cringe when you're wasting the time of like social services or emergency services. I think it's cringe. But like if you want to, then fine. But don't just. I hate cry bullying more than anything else. Okay, I hate cry bullying more than anything else. This is why, as much as I think he's like a crazy, weird, degenerate piece of shit, I do have a level of respect for Bad Empanada, because generally, Bad Empanada acknowledges that he's an unhinged fucking lunatic, all right? He does dox everybody, and he does say he doxes it. He posts shit, he lies about people who's crazy. But I think, like, you know Bad Empanada's crazy. When you look at him, he's, like, generally speaking, unless I miss it, maybe he does try to make excuses for behavior somewhere else. Well, like, Bad Empanada's open about it. But if you're going to throw your lot in with somebody like Bad Empanada, then you have to fully do it. You can't, it's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out, okay? Your on-screen shot is dead? Good. So are you. Wait, where is it? Okay. I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense.
Swatted Kraut by falsely reporting him to the Austrian police for hacking his alt Twitter accounts. I don't think they were ever hacked at all.
Basically, he accuses me of hacking. Bad Empanada accuses me of hacking. Specifically, he accuses me of hacking 15 of his banned Twitter accounts.
His evidence of Kraut hacking him comes from a tweet where Kraut says he's archiving his accounts. That's literally it.
This here is the central claim. He claims, I got illegal access to 15 of his 22 temporarily banned X accounts.
Am I retarded? How do these people actually think you're putting mass amounts of energy to control the narrative? If you were trying to control it that hard, wouldn't there not be all this controversy? Well, maybe they think I suck at it. I don't know. But I don't know where people think all the time comes from for this. Or like, there would be evidence of this somewhere. I'm like, I don't do like the Discord room shit at all. The only reason I know what I do is because I have my loyal spies, my birdies, that just send me screenshots and shit from Discord servers. I don't have the time, nor the inclination to do any of this. I just don't give a fuck that much about this. Well, but now unfortunately I have to because it's so fucking weird. But
well, what did I tweet? I tweet, yeah, we managed to get archive files containing everything Bad Empanada tweeted with 15 of his 22 suspended accounts. Well, how did we get this? We went to Wayback Machine and typed in his accounts.
So fucking obviously is not you hacking him. He's saying that tweet is evidence that he was hacked.
Yes.
Destiny Manifesto? Are you asking about my manifesto? When I'm writing my manifestos, I'm usually pretty open about it, right? And then the only manifesto I ever did in secret was the Keffels one over like 2 weeks.
Bad Empanada actually just uploaded—
But I also had to recruit like 10 people to help me with that one.
—video on why he thinks his police report was justified, and in it he just reads his complaint.
So this is probably the most serious thing that he did, in that he publicly implied that he had hacked my social media accounts and obtained private information about me that is otherwise inaccessible from doing so, and that he was going to go through it and share it.
Hey, no neck, he's talking about the public tweets you posted. Oh yeah, this tweet where Crouch says he's going to screenshot the unhinged stuff I say, yeah, that's evidence he's going to hack me. Please believe me, audience. Like, how stupid are his viewers?
An archive file containing everything Bad Empanada tweeted with 15 of his 22 suspended accounts. Now, you can't really get an archive file of someone else's Twitter. The only way you can get the Twitter archive file is by having access to the account, so that's very suspicious, isn't it?
Or you could just go to your public Twitter page and screenshot all your tweets. He's so desperate to sound like a victim here, when he's the one who falsely swatted Crouch.
Oh, actually, Bad Empanada in a strict sense is correct here, but he's talking about this in a way that no one else was. Bad Empanada is talking about, for all online services, you can request digital backup of all of your data that they have. I think it's a new, ever since the GDPR stuff. But I don't think that's obviously not what Kraut was talking about. That's what Bad Empanada is like pivoting to try to make it sound like Kraut had access to all of his accounts. Yeah.
Didn't want me to think that he had engaged in potentially criminal activity. Why did he make public posts implying that he was engaging in that activity? Public posts that clearly the Vienna police who investigated the case thought were suspicious enough to warrant an investigation and an interview.
What Bad Empanada is not telling you is that the police dismissed his complaint as having zero merit. He's essentially reading his own complaint and then acting like that somehow makes it more legit. It doesn't. This is only a small portion of how stupid this police report is. In short, the police closed the investigation because it was a massive waste of time. But this still allowed Bad Empanada to get all of Kraut's personal information. When the police closed the investigation, Bad Empanada wrote an email threatening Kraut to stay silent on it.
Hi, Joseph. I did not swat you. You gave me legitimate reason to believe that you were hacking my accounts in an attempt to divulge my private information and posted very public threats against me. I'm relieved to hear that you apparently denied that you were really engaging in this behavior. I will not apologize for taking basic measures to protect myself, like filing a police report. When you publicly made such statements, I would prefer to not have to talk about this publicly, as you will note that I have refrained from doing up until this point, because I legitimately never did any of the things you claimed I did to you and have no wish to embarrass or divulge any personal info by releasing any of the files I received from the public prosecutor's office on this case.
Or in other words, stay silent or I'm gonna post all of your personal information I got from the police. Kraut has vented a bit about this, so Bad Empanada has already started lying about the facts. Kraut is currently going around claiming that I swatted him. In reality, I reported him to the Vienna police because he was openly posting on Twitter about he was stalking/doxing me for months. The prosecutor thought the evidence I provided was suspicious enough to warrant an investigation, especially one about him illegally accessing my data. Kraut told me that the Austrian police are obligated to investigate every report, and the investigation came back saying Bad Empanada had little more than circumstantial evidence, that his accusations of violent threats can both in objective and subjective manner not be proven due to there not being any violent threats, that the accusation of libel or slander is not detectable. This video is so embarrassing by him. He is non-stop lying. And from what I've seen, Bad Empanada has no evidence. He's just wasting everybody's time to get a dox. Seriously, how is this guy not banned from everything? There is some good news though. Bad Empanada is apparently on the run. I thought it was just a meme when he posted, "Today's stream is delayed as I am fleeing to a different country." But it turns out this might be real, as Ethan is monologuing his next move to track him down. Bad Empanada is on the run. He knows we're closing in. We suspected he had fled back to Australia, but upon further research and verification, he's actually fled to Uruguay. This information is probably shocking for him to hear, as he went to great lengths to obscure his escape from Argentina to Uruguay. Bad Empanada, if you ever decide to return to Australia, will be immediately notified and a torrent of lawsuits will follow. You are easy to get in Australia, which is why you're doing everything to avoid returning. Why am I telling you this? So he looks over his shoulder every day. We are coming and we will win. You can run from us, but we will catch you and we will ruin you. Have a nice day.
Bad Empanada chimed in. Does it feel good to be hated literally everywhere you go? I mean, first of all, Bad Empanada, you're outcast from society. Like, we live in Los Angeles, California. You are on the run.
I mean, you know you're a piece of shit when even Hassan pulls up Bad Empanada's video of him doxing me, and even he's surprised about what's happening.
Just like how I can tell you that Willie Mack show is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting married to, but I can tell you she is Israeli, and she was assigned to him by...
Best to skip, to be honest. This is Drama Slob Empanada content? Yeah. I don't really fucking give a shit about this.
Like,
Really? Because it seemed like you really liked platforming a lot of his Drama Slop before.
Appreciate that he stopped watching immediately, but why are we acting like it's just slop? I'd argue it's a bit more ill-intended than slop content. Hassan is the guy who thinks the subreddit LSF posting his stream clips quantifies as stalking and harassment.
If I was a smart person, I wouldn't be getting ritualistically humiliated by socially maladjusted freaks that are agoraphobic on a daily basis in a mass harassment campaign online. But I do that for a living.
But Bad Empanada posting my personal info, it's just drama slop. Then he watches them again a few days later.
Bad Empanada is a good example of this, where I think he's like a crazy person. He is chaotic good, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Please.
What the fuck? Did he really say that? Chaotic good? Have I heard that before? Chaotic good. Bad Empanada? Okay.
What is this guy doing?
Explain.
Like, think about how little little time I spend like shitting on bad empanada or whatever. Because like, I think he's coming from, like, we have different methods, we have different tactics, we have different techniques.
His tactics are doxing, false police reports, false CPS reports, slandering people constantly.
But overall, we're working on the same side.
Hassan is literally saying he supports what Bad Empanada is doing. Like, Hassan clearly knows at this point who Bad Empanada really is. He literally had a one-on-one conversation with him where Bad Empanada said these people deserve to be harassed, meaning anyone who mildly disagrees with them.
Be mean to them. If they feel bad, if they feel harassed, honestly, great. I don't give a
based.
Each and every one of them. We need to be mean to these guys. We need to be assholes. They deserve it.
He knows the guy he's supporting is doing this and purposely promotes him anyway. A week passes and they're talking out about my docs and peddling lies about my wife to discredit valid criticism about them.
That's so crazy. This is such an unhinged back and forth between these guys. Bro, the Gaza-Palestine, or the Israel-Gaza shit is just mind-rotted so many people. It's actually so crazy.
They're just trying to assassinate my character.
You're just doing investigative journalism. They're saying Bad Empanada unearthed that. Is that true? I think Bad Empanada or somebody unearthed like the Willie Mack shows getting married to like an IDF lady or something. Which makes sense. He was the guy who did the big expose on like you with the Al Ali bombing, hospital bombing, right?
Yeah. He's a brilliant political, probably one of the best minds in politics right now.
Truth. So yeah, compromise.
Like, man, I just keep forgetting. You could justify anything as long as you're more pro-Palestine than the other guy. I want to end this video with a story. When I was at my most overwhelmed figuring out all the new logistics for the wedding, Ethan Klein actually hit me up and offered to organize security for it so everyone could have peace of mind and enjoy the day. He had no reason to do that. I don't know Ethan. I've made videos on him in the past, but he reached out anyway and lent a hand when he had no reason to. What got me was a text he sent me saying, "I got you, bro. Don't worry."
Wait, if these guys are talking, why wasn't Ethan the one masterminding Willie's video? Why didn't Ethan get accused of that? What the fuck?
Wedding will be perfect. It was, so thank you. Subscribe to the channel and buy a wallet. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drain Bex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tismic Fitz, Christopher H, Sentinel Music, Lucas Sif, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amura Malbay, Rony Boo, Drew is Sharon, Clown Factory, Monkey D Luffy, Shura, Tiffany 2 Trill, and the mega homies: IGP, Your Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Kitty Cat, Terox, John Manfredo, Lucas, and Katie Huck.
As Texas Governor Greg Abbott...
What is the date on this? E-Rape Defense Squad. Jesus. If you want to argue, people would have stopped caring maybe, but people always bring up whatever embarrassing thing someone has online every single time they run afoul of them. DGG especially, and adjacent political communities. The funny thing is that Justical had to clamp down so hard. Kelly would only spend time in Justical's server because creepers like Wicked Supreme would constantly bring up her rape story with her ex or whatever, Henry G. This is literally just a few minutes ago. Oh, that's why Kelly left, is because Justical took mod from her, I think. And so she won't be there unless she can time out people who are talking about her stuff. But... my guess is 90% of DGG wouldn't even know about it. The whole leak was a banned topic on Reddit at least. It was never discussed on stream either. Most people are not terminally online. What? Wait, oh, I can't tell if this guy's defending me or attacking me. Like, yeah, I don't want people posting links to all of our fucking revenge porn shit, but okay. Question mark. Destiny cut contact with Pixie and told her to sue. It was always coming out. That's not even true. Pixie's the one that removed me from Discord, number one, and I never told her to sue. I just said that I wouldn't infringe on her right to do anything else, or I am not going to tell her that she can or can't do, because I tried so hard not to be controlling or masterminding literally anything. All of those DMs are fucking public, so I don't know why you would lie about this, especially when you've spent the last like 8 months debating about my about everything related to my life, but... Anyway. Reminder that Augie and Straightroid went on Justical's stream to shit on H3. It's all connected. Wait, how long ago? Oh, a month ago? Oh. Yikes.
I think that's trivially obvious.
Pretty gross and pretty weird. The funny thing too is that
In the out of context.
I think the only reason they're doing this is because I'm not trying not to main character too much, but it's because they don't like me. And because Dan is connected to me and connected to Ethan, they view Ethan as being like on my side. So now they're stuck defending the most cucked people. Like imagine if you told Jessica like a year ago, bro, I know this is hard, but you're going to have to defend Frogan, Casey Trot, and Denims. Like this guy who used to be a Fuentes fan, Jessica would kill himself. Holy shit.
This thing is a big thing that, like, I understand.
It's insane how you can so clearly say that you aren't going to hinder people and their choices, and yet people still use that to attack you. Yeah, seriously, what the fuck? Those messages all got posted publicly, right? What did I say? Oh, yeah. Because when she started messaging me, she was like, I don't think you'll ever be brought to justice. And I was like, you have every legal option available to you. You can always pursue stuff. And there are special civil and criminal protections that even shield your name from being released. You can always do free consultations with litigation firms to check the stuff like that. For obvious reasons, you should take things I'm saying with a grain of salt and pursue and check out all of those things on your own. Like, I don't think I could have said that message any better. Jesus. Also, this is after she's like sending me an extortion message to try to blackmail me. What the fuck? This message, now with more, dude, I can't wait to do my final write-up on this whole fucking ordeal. This message is so unhinged. I'm just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened, and I feel like there is no way to obtain justice. I don't want to bring a case against you, but I think you'll continue to send nudes of people, even without their consent. Bringing a case against you would mean going public, which is the equivalent of a death sentence for me, either way. So I feel like the best thing to do is for me to kill myself and schedule a post just detailing my feelings on what happened to try to ensure that a situation like this doesn't happen again. I'm not going to kill myself at this second. She's giving me time to offer her a ton of money when she says that. That's why she deleted messages later on about this. I'm trying to get some things in order before I end everything, but I don't see a future where I survive for much longer. It's better to end things sooner rather than later and stop. It's such an unhinged... God, this whole fucking scenario is so fucking unhinged. And then I like how she lies in her Substack and say he was trying to downplay my feelings at this point in time. Like it was a bad thing to do. Like, yes, I am trying to downplay your feelings because your feelings that you are telling me you want to kill yourself. No shit. I'm trying to fucking minimize and downplay things. No shit. I think one of my messages that leaked with Aaron even explicitly said that, where I'm like, I don't want to downplay her feelings, but I also don't want her to commit suicide. Whatever. Good memes. Okay. Are we done with our daily drama memes? You're just mad you got hit with the DuPont approach and weren't ready for it. True. True. What is this? This guy crashes out.
Guys, my game is gone. I'm leaving the Discord. I'm done. I'll catch you guys.
What happened? Wait, is he crying or is he just tired?
Fuck! Fuck! 40 fucking hours, man! My fucking god, when does it end? map! Every single map! Bro, oh my god, oh my god. God, bro. Oh my god, bro.
What?
Oh my god.
Does it take 40 hours to speedrun
Fucking god, bro.
the zombie thing, or?
Bro, 40 fucking hours, nigga!
Look at the stream title. Reckoning, round 999, world record, highest round speedrun. I don't know that. Does it take 40 hours to get to... Did he make it to like 998? Or what did he make it to?
Half an hour into my fucking stream!
What happened? Go back and look. What am I... What's happening?
Guys, my game is gone. I'm leaving the Discord. I'm done. I'll catch you guys.
Back in the stream. Did it like crash or something, or?
Just stayed up 40 hours. The game that's not there? And I didn't know if I could use some of your clips. Temporary DMs on my moderators or admin, and they would be able to totally like help you, like get whatever you need as well too, or like, you know, from me. But in terms of that,
Fuck, I don't want to generalize or say anything mean because I don't know this person. Maybe there's like this. Are these people doing drugs to stay up late? Or...
I'm okay with you using like, you know, like whatever footage that you would like. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, man. Yeah.
He's been up 40 hours? How long did I stay up for my StarCraft thing? I feel like I was just like tired and ready to die. But maybe different people do act in different ways. I've done 36 hours just caffeine. Oh yeah, fuck. I have no receptor response to caffeine. I don't know why. It's actually so fucking annoying. Because I see people like can drink caffeine and get jittery and stay awake and get focused or whatever. I have nothing. I have zero response. I need to buy caffeine pills and see if I can fucking super dose it or some bullshit.
Take a second and like think. Okay.
Yeah, people are saying it's the ADHD. I've read that colloquial. I don't know if it's actually true that people with ADHD just don't respond as much to stimulants or to weaker stimulants. I don't know how true that is or not, but...
Put pizza on the plate.
But it seems like, OP, you like drink coffee or Red Bull to like stay awake. I don't know.
Okay.
Give me a genius idea, Joe.
What's up?
Why are you drinking Red Bull? Because it has a strong flavor and I can like sip on it for like a couple hours basically.
Up here, then.
And then I don't eat anything. I'm on my anorexia grind.
Oh man.
At Zfreak935 donated $1.99. Okay, thanks. Here's a dono for the yes heart.
Thank you, Z-Freak. Thank you very much, bro. Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Z-Freak, bro. Yes, man. Sounds good.
Okay, wait, it hasn't
good.
crashed yet, right? They're waiting for the thing to load or something?
Alright. Obesity, there's one issue with it, and it's gonna be that I'm gonna have to switch to the other strategy, the first strategy.
I think they made it so they can just put you in the RC car, by the way.
What's up?
When you're in RC. I think they made it so they can just push you, you know, when you're in an RC car.
Wait, your voice just went extremely, like, robot.
He's trying to reload his save file, I believe.
I really hope I'm not lagging. I just loaded it.
He didn't go robot-y for me.
Alright. It seems like I'm good, but I got a triple bug run, I think, just now, actually.
A triple bug run?
And the bug run looks like it's playing well, so I think I'm okay. Mister, can you repeat what you said?
Push you. Because you know age above it.
Oh, they're supposed to be. They changed that.
Did you see Weapons? Hutch said it's his favorite movie this year. I haven't yet. I'm still trying to calm down. Is Bartes gonna have a combo with you? I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow because I have a lot of stuff on it. I don't know if I. Okay. I just got back from being out of town. Does tomorrow, like 4 EST, work for you? Question mark. I still don't know what I'm gonna talk to this guy about, but.
Like Liberty Falls, your body
What are you
blocks
going on
them.
today? I have a debate with some guy at 8 over some Trump shit. Oh, I'm still a little bit burned from the Sinners movie. Like, I thought Sinners was a good movie, above average movie, but I feel like Sinners was insanely overhyped. Holy shit. But it was, like, good, but it was super overhyped.
Yeah, energy it is. Energy games it is, yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
I think maybe I'm, like, a little bit, how do I explain this? When you have movies that revolve around violence or fighting being used to solve like the final act, I feel like it should tie in somehow or some way to the rest of the movie. Like there needs to be like a payoff for some lesson learned